Hello everybody, we are getting into this. I actually just got these replays today. I was assured that they were amazing, so I'm kind of excited to get this going. We're going to be spawning directly on top of Empire.viOLet, the red Zerg in the bottom, going up against SK.MC, who I'm still shocked actually left OGS. That was really an odd occurrence, but he's going to be the blue Protoss in the top. We were playing on GSL Metropolis, and this is actually a map that I've been wanting to see a lot more of. I personally like the look of it a lot for many reasons, and one of the biggest things about them that I really like are the island maps. This is completely unique to this map, and it kind of brings back one of the old fun aspects of maps. For example, Lost Temple, which had those true islands that you could actually lift off, float to, do something, actually get to them, but they had a tendency to be abused by things like lifting off a command center, and it was pretty much mostly accessible to Terrans. I don't know if anyone really overly complained about that, but that was just something I always noted, and I didn't really pay attention to QQing about balance on maps like that, so I could be completely off base and making that up, but I'm going to hope not, and say that those issues have been fixed by the presence of this creep tumor. Which just means that Terran cannot just lift off a CC and expand to there really quickly. So these things are completely decked out in creep, and what that means is that basically Protoss has to get an observer there in order to get the observer down there in order to get the warp prism with the probe or something else to basically take this out and then get the expansion and then wait for the creep to go away. Same deal with Terran. They have to drop here, scan, and then take this in order for that to get to play. But for Zerg, you can just drop and then throw down the hatchery, which I think is great because Zerg is the most vulnerable in terms of their expansions, because you can spine, spore, do all that good stuff, but you need those expansions ever so importantly. Let's check out the actual game instead of talking about theoretical stuff. We've got a Forge Fast Expand coming to MC, perfectly standard. He's actually gone up all the way to 18 food. Is he cannoning somewhere? Because this is odd. He doesn't have a Nexus kind of out yet. There we go. We have the pylon here, and the pro's going to go ahead and start actually attacking this and trying to move it away. Val's going to be pretty actually on top of things and start moving around his drone. And look at that actual kind of ring around the rosy. That's like kind of fun. I'm also really tired. I've been up for a really long time, and I've been doing StarCraft related things all day, so who knows what's going to be happening during this cast. Earlier today I was doing a clan war and streaming and singing, and there was a whole lot of Kesha going on. So it kind of tells you what state of mind I'm in at the moment. Yeah. So if I was doing this, we do have that the Nexus was thrown down, and the cannon before the gateway, which is pretty safe. I mean, it's not a huge worry. You can see how it's just an overlord going across the map, being followed quickly, well, kind of already being surpassed as a slow overlord. But anyway, that's what's going on there. We've got the probe down here. It's actually already set to make this a wall. This probe's going to actually survive, and that Ling barely survives too, getting drawn back quite quickly. MC's already double gassed. As far as bases go down here, we have the third base just being thrown down for Violet, which is perfectly standard. I mean, 4.5 minutes is pretty much what you want to do against a Forge Fast Expand. And the big thing about Violet is the fact that this wasn't actually delayed. Protosses can do such annoying things. Like Daybreak is a great map to do what I'm about to say on. And that's throw down the pylon here, delay this base, and then just send the probe to over here and start delaying this base as well. If anybody knows Crane, who used to be on FXO, Crane is a beast at delaying, being annoying, and just all around terribleness to the Zerg early game just through buildings, whether they're cannons, pylons, gateways, or anything. So now running around over here, MC's just trying to get up his Cybernetics core. And a really big aspect of the map that I'm very interested on is actually the destructive debris and how this can get used. We can see how it's already showing a very nice wall off. It's a very nice wall thing you can do, because it kind of is similar to Nerazim Crypt, that old ladder map that I think only lasted a single season, because it's kind of, I didn't think it was that bad, but no one really liked it. It was kind of an map. But that's an aspect of it that I'm glad to see back, because that was a unique thing, pretty much, for a natural expansion choke. Violet is being perfect with his larva injects. I mean, seriously, that would just pop down, just like bam. Let's go ahead and vomit a little bit onto it. But again, his gases, just both of his gases in his main, so he's not going to have speed for another 3 minutes, which could be exploited by a Zealot and a Stalker being aggressive. But does he have Zealot Stalker being aggressive? No, he could though. He's actually going to be able to pick off this Overlord, and this is a great move by Violet. He knows that this is going to die, so he might as well make it as useful as possible. And he's going to actually be able to see the 3 gateways being added on. But is there a Stargate Robo or something on the way somewhere else? I wouldn't be surprised if MC started throwing that down as well, because he's great at timing pushes, and it's actually going to be a Twilight Council. So I had a 2 out of 3 chance of just saying the right building randomly, and I got it wrong. Kind of sad. Unless you want to count possibly going for like an 8 gate or something like that, but it is possible. He could have had a +1/+1 type of thing, but Violet's now actually going to be able to see this, so he knows that Twilight Council's up. He sees all the gases going down, and he just now has determined what's going to be Blink, DTs, or maybe even both. Maybe even Charge Lots, maybe even Archons, through either DTs or Temple Archives. There's still a lot of options. But more importantly, Violet's kind of joined up a lot. He's getting a seriously strong economy. He's at 55 drones compared to the 45 probes of MC, and that's actually pretty good. MC is not exactly that far ahead in terms of workers, which is really where Violet wants. Violet wants to be able to just completely drone up and get ready for things like this, because this is unfortunately a very vulnerable part. We see that Violet's actually making to lose this. He's going to lose the queen. He tries to pull back in the wrong direction. This pylon is actually going to be finished. It's getting targeted down, but there are still Zealots and everything attacking. There's actually see the warpins, but never mind. It's actually going to kill if they try to warp it anyway. But the drones fully surround the Stalker. The Stalker is just wailing away on a couple of those drones. But now we got the Zealot to finish them off. Roaches are now on the field. Violet did get a good, nice Roach war in time again. Probably 7.5 minutes, so standard time for it. Now we're watching as these Zealots are doing a whole lot of damage. Violet is taking hits onto his economy. He's not even mining at all from his 3rd base. He's effectively reduced to 2 bases of mining, and these Zealots are just continuing moving forward. They've got that +1 attack, and that is being incredibly effective. And throughout this entire time, we actually are seeing Blink and +2 being researched at the Forge and Twilight Council. So MC's going to try and pull back, do as much damage as he can, and once those Lings are dead, he can retreat with those Zealots because they move at the same speed as those Roaches. There we go, and now we're going to see both these guys probably survive. You can see 2.25 and 2.25. It's that Roach speed that's so critical. We do even see it researching right now. Violet's choosing not to go for Mutas or Infestors or anything like that quite yet. He could benefit, though, from going for Infestors, greatly so, because Blink is done for MC, and Blink is a very nice time to attack for Protoss. With that Blink, you can just be very micro-oriented with your attacks. It gives a really good benefit to your actual skill level, as opposed to going for without Stalkers, in which case you just get surrounded and you die. And that doesn't give you opportunities to move around, to be interesting, to spread out your Stalkers. That's one of the great things about Blink, is you can spread. So in the face of Banes, Mutas, all those things, you can basically do a Marine split, but instantaneously through those Blinks. And that's incredibly key for a lot of positioning aspects. And now we're seeing them blinking forward. Look at that. Onto the high ground. It's a really nice move because the vision of that forward pylon is a great spot, a very hard spot for Violet to snipe. He needs vision. Roaches from the low ground can attack it, but Lings cannot, and that's the speedy unit that would really be wanted. So Violet's actually now going to start attacking. We're going to see that there's nothing really coming in quite yet. Drones are now being pulled. I don't think we're having any double pronged sacks, are we? We're not. So just go ahead and watch the battle unfold. MC blinking back really nicely. He's a master of 2-base timing attacks. We're seeing a really good Blink +2 attack right now, just decimating, and that's going to call GG from Violet. So that's a really nice thing. Violet's actually going to go ahead and try and take this game, take the series from behind, as really he's kind of up on the ropes now. It's 0-1 in a best of 3, and now we're going to have to see what Violet's going to do to try and take the series once again. I don't know why I said once again. Just take the series. Just take the series. We'll go with that. Let's go to game 2.